Welcome back to another Spinato Spin. Excited as all get out to be here, and I want to tell you about something real basic, but something that we got to do if we want to get to the next level. You know, there's an old story about what went on in World War II, how a lot of things just wasn't put together the right way, a lot of things fell apart, and I'm talking about war-torn Japan. Now, Japan was a country that was pretty beat up. Matter of fact, when the Americans came in there to try to clean it up, nothing worked. Everything was all ripped up. But Japan had a desire to put themselves back together again. Japan had a desire to do something amazing with their country. And they decided to adopt a plan and an attitude and an activity that led to their success. Now, it was an American idea that came up with it. An American person had started it just to try to get the country back on its feet. And it went real simple. And see if you can follow along with this. They wanted to get better every day. They wanted constant and never-ending improvement. That's what they built their country on. Always get better than the last day, and always be better at the end of the next day. They wanted to make sure that they left no stone unturned, and there was no way they were going to fall back to the situation they were in. They said, how can we get better every day? And what happened was they decided, the gentleman's name was William Demings, William F. Demings. He was the general that started the whole process and got people more involved in that. They called it the William F. Demings Award. And every year, the person that displayed the best ability to get better every day, every month, every year, whatever it was, the timetable that they had it on, that person won the award. That person won. A company won. An individual won. Groups in the company won. Everyone was focused toward. Now think about that for a minute, folks. If you were in an environment where everyone had a spirit of getting better every day, how do you think you would do? Let me ask you a question. I'll stick this right in your face. Where you work, do they have that attitude? Do they have that attitude where we want to get better every day and let's be accountable for it? Probably not, folks. Probably not, because it's probably too hard for them to do. They can't get the people motivated enough to do that. But in war-torn Japan, in the late 40s, 1940s, they had no choice. They had to put their country back together again if they ever wanted to show their face on the map again. Everyone was devoted to that. Everyone in the country believed in that theory. Everyone understood the motto. Constant and never-ending improvement. What has this got to do with you? It got everything to do with you. It got everything to do with me. If we were able to do that every day, think about where you would be. Think about this, folks. If you wound up going from one point to the next point, but every day you got better by 10%, 2%, whatever you want to call it, how far would you be? How much better would you be of the things that you can actually evaluate at the end of the month? You might be twice as better than you were at the beginning. Twice as better. You might be 3 times better. You might be 12 times better at the end of the year. What would that do for your life? How would that make you feel? See, here's something, too, to keep in mind. Every morning, we all ask ourselves a question when we get up. Did you know that? Every morning, everyone says, well, I don't ask myself a question. Yeah, you do. You ask yourself simple questions. And it's the quality of those questions that determine how well your day is going to go. Think about it. If you got up in the morning and you say, oh, what's the least amount of work I can do to get away without my job and still keep my job and still get paid? And be happy about myself at the end of the day. Well, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do the least amount of work. You're going to deliver on a least amount of promises you can just to get by. But what if you got up and you said, wow, what an awesome day. What's the most I can do today, and how will that improve me at the end of the day? How will that make me feel? See, you can ask yourself incredibly powerful questions. You can ask yourself, what am I most excited? When you get up in the morning, ask yourself this, what am I most excited about today? And the grumpy guy would just say, or the grumpy lady would say, nothing, I'm not excited about anything. Well, let me ask you a question. If I gave you $100 to come up with one thing you're excited about, would you be able to do it? For $100, yeah, I probably would. All right, so what would it be? What would be the thing that would get you excited? And when you come up with that answer, I don't know what gets you excited. I'm not sure what it is. But when you come up with that answer, I'll ask you another question. Or you can ask yourself another question. How does that make me feel? How does it make me feel when I get excited? What does it do for me? Does it make me feel better? Does it make me want to do certain things? Am I more impressed with myself? Do I feel more self-confident? Those are the kind of questions you got to ask. Here's another good one. What are you grateful for? What am I most grateful for? You start writing them down. You start dwelling on them. You start thinking about them. See, that's how you start controlling your life. That's how you start developing a person people want to be around. That's how you start developing what we talked about way a long time ago, pleasing personality. People start getting attracted to you. Those are very powerful questions you can ask. You see, can I, right? Constant, never-ending improvement. That's a powerful question. What can I do to get better than I was yesterday? What can I do? You know, the old saying, I heard this before, he said, if you spend too much time congratulating yourself on what you did before, you'll never get any better the next day. That's right. You got to spend time looking to get better. You know, I've heard this before, and this is real powerful, and I'll wrap it up with this. They said, everybody has a story. You know, I'm pretty good at telling stories. I'd like to think I am, and a lot of people probably out there are better than me at telling stories. But here's your story. Your story goes like this. Where I've been, where I am now, and where I'm going. That's your story. And the more exciting and enthusiastic you can tell about people, about where you've been, and what's happening in your life right now, and what you're going to do for the future, the more of a leadership type of person you'll be. The more of a person you'll be that'll attract people. Remember, you got to keep on getting better. You got to keep on fighting. You got to keep on trying to get better. Always remember Japan, tiny country. We knew how big they got. We know how they dug themselves out of a hole and got stronger and stronger to one of the powers in the economic world down the road. That didn't happen by accident, folks. It's just like other questions that you always ask yourself. Why is this guy more successful than everybody else? Ask yourself questions like that. Remember, the power of your questions, the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your life. Great to talk to you tonight. Spinato Spin loves to talk to you. I hope you have a great night, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks a lot, folks.